the door to the theater door opened, and I happened to turn around, and I saw this guy, and it was the light reflected on his face, and I told my sister Pauline, "Oh, look at that handsome man," and she says, "Stop, don't look back," she says. So I didn't see him after that, and then about a month or so later, we went to another show at the first one was the Strand Theater, and the next one was the Warner Brothers. And I went to peek out, and I saw him walking down the aisle to come out.
Was he alone?
He was all alone, so handsome. And my sister Pauline says, "Don't look at him." She says, "You're flirting with him." So we went to the car.
Flirt?
So we went to the car, and I got in the car, and it was so strange. I had a dream, and I went to my mother's room, and I told my mother that I dreamt I saw this man all dressed up, leaning against the telephone poles, smoking a cigarette. And I'll be darned if I didn't get out. We got in our car, and then I happened to look back, and he ran after the car about 3 blocks. And I told my sister, "Pauline, he's running after the car." So it was the dream I had was just like him. His legs was crossed, good looking, smoking. So then my sister Pauline was going to a Greek meeting, the HEPA they called it, and my sister Sophie was in it. Well, she didn't want me to go with her, and she wanted Pauline, and it was a big doing. So I begged my sister Pauline, she let me go. So I went there, and I'll be darned, he was there. So we got up, and I didn't know he was Greek. And then when he came up and asked me for a dance, I was shocked because there were so many pretty Greek girls. But I'll tell you one thing, I was sitting across the hall.
You just tell us one thing?
Yeah, well, anyway. And I was leaning my head against my hand, and I happened to turn around, and he was copying me. But then later on, he came up and asked me for a dance, and then I danced with him, and then
And
I
so
asked
you were
him.
how old?
I was 19.
And how old was he?
He must have been about 37.
37?
Mm-hmm.
That would make him 18 years old.
Well,
He's about 35.
yeah, I think he said he told me he was 36. Yeah. But
Okay.
gosh, he was handsome.
Now, how long did you date before you became?
Oh, I'll tell you another thing.
engaged?
What happened, I don't know how he ever found out it was my birthday. He came over. Oh, no, when I met him at the dance, then my sister Sophie called my mother, told my mother how handsome he was. And he asked me at the dance floor, "Where do you live?" So I gave him the direction. And so my mother happened to look out the window, and she saw this man walking back and forth, because I didn't give him the address because my parents were so very strict. And so my mother saw this guy, and I said, "Mom, that's him," but she wouldn't have to go downstairs or anything. And some Greek people told him he wanted to know where a certain Greek family that lived close by where we lived, so he gave them. So then the next time I met him was I went to the grocery store and to get some medicine for my mother at the drugstore, and I'll be darned, I saw him in the corner. So I called my mother that I wanted her to meet him, and she wouldn't let him come up to see. And then later on, it was about, I don't know how in the world he found out it was my birthday, and he came up to the house, and he,
What were you, about 20?
no, we were just, that was not about 20. He came up to the house, and he bought me the most beautiful dress, and
Yeah?
yeah, and a box of candy.
What color dress did
It was so beautiful. It was, the background was green, like avocado green, and it was just so beautiful.
How do you
And
know your size?
I had no idea.
Did you get the right size?
He got me the right size and everything. At that time, I wore a size 6. And I won't tell you the size that I wear now. Don't laugh.
Maybe probably 7.
And then he came up, and then he wanted to meet me someplace, and I said, I was afraid, so I asked my sister Pauline, and she said, "Well, I'll let you go to the library and you can meet him." So we went to the library and we met him, and so then I met him a couple of times, and then he talked to Christina's, first husband, that he wanted to meet the family, so we had a long talk.
So he arranged.
And my mother was kinda mad, cause she found out I sneaked out at that time. But I really didn't want to sneak out, but my mother really liked him. He was very romantic and handsome and.
Your mother liked him because he was romantic?
No, I liked him.
She liked him because he was romantic.
And very loving, and anyway, so we told and then my sister went to announce the engagement, and
So how long were you dating before you were engaged?
4 months.
4
Let's
months?
see, we met in we met in October, he met me in January. We got married in May.
You met in October?
Once, but, I
Yeah.
didn't talk to him at the show or
But you
anything.
started dating when?
But in January, and then he'd come over.
In January you started to sneak out?
Yeah, and
then he brought you?
then he came over and talked to my mother, and
he
she liked
proposed
him.
to you when, in March?
And, he proposed, about March, April.
April?
Yeah,
And you got
April
married?
5th, April 5th he came over and and my mother had him over for dinner, and he told my mother he wanted to marry me. That was April 5th.
And you were married
And May 10th we got married.
okay, he proposed April 5th and you
Yes.
were married May 10th.
He looked for me for 3 months.
Which
Can you get it?
later, huh?
Isn't that neat? He
months?
said he's gonna get me. He waited 3 months. He
And,
looked 3 months for me, and he
his
finally.
birthday,
And today's Mother's Day, May 12th. Today was his birthday,
his birthday's May 12th.
1992 today.
no, today's 91.
This?
Yeah, but it's okay, cause it's on the camera.
Okay.
Okay, you were married, where?
We got married in, at that time, they didn't have a Greek church, and,
Okay.
we had to go to Los Angeles, but we didn't have the money for what they asked us for, so we got married in an Episcopalian church.
They wouldn't marry you without paying?
We had to pay so much, and he didn't have that much money on him.
So you got married
And we got married, and,
at the Episcopal church?
Episcopalian church in San Pedro.
Okay. Did you go on a honeymoon?
We went on a honeymoon, and
Well, first, who was at your wedding? Did you have a small wedding?
I had about 42 people, my mother and my sister and my brother.
Did you have a dress
I
and
had
bridesmaids?
my brother George, that he never saw the sisters married, so he got me a white gown and a veil.
None of your sisters had weddings?
No, I was the only one my mother saw get married.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They all went away and got married? They all ran away, or, really?
Mhm.
So you got your white dress and did you have bridesmaids or anything?
No bridesmaid. Oh, yes, I had my niece Georgia was my little flower girl.
Tony's daughter?
Tony's daughter, and,
Or Tony's
daughter, the youngest daughter. And we had dinner at my mother's house, and
You have some close
your
Greek friends? or-
your grandfather did all the cooking, and your Aunt Sophie bought me the cake. Sophie was there. And
What
then,
kind of cake was it?
it was a small wedding cake.
White?
Yeah,
Chocolate?
white.
Okay, did you honeymoon or?
Yes, I went, we was a week on a honeymoon, and, it was, well, there was I heard so much about a place to go to, but I didn't realize when I went there how expensive it was. It called the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. And somebody told me, and poor guy, he only had $200 in his pocket at that time. So we drove around, and when we went up to the building, I says, oh, I don't think this is a place, and the man said at that time it was $25 a night. And so we
Just so you know, that hotel rooms now
are so expensive.
are, $100 a night for a hotel room is on a low side for a nice hotel.
And then we walked down to Los Angeles, and I bumped into my brother Andrew, but he could not make it at the wedding. So he took your grandfather, John,
No,
and me.
you took your husband.
Oh, his grandfather.
Yeah, but you're talking to your
Oh,
children.
okay. They
Talk
took
to
my husband, John, and we bumped he bumped into us in Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles. He took us to Elvira Street to a Mexican restaurant, and the guys came up and played the guitar and sang.
Mariachi.
Oh gosh, they were great.
So you spent a week in
And
Los
we
Angeles?
spent a week in Los Angeles, and we walked down the pier, and he got a hotel, and your Uncle Angelo came up with us.
Now, what did you, where's your first place that you lived? You lived in a little apartment or a house?
We lived, the first place we lived was with my husband's brother. No, we lived with my mother. We lived with our mother because my father and mother were separated at the time. He wasn't at the wedding. They were separated. And then we stayed with my mother for 3 months.
Your parents were separated
Yes.
temporarily?
Yeah, just
But he
for-
cooked at your wedding?
No, your father cooked.
Oh, Dad cooked
Yeah,
at your wedding?
not the
Okay.
grandfather. And Tony was there, and his wife and family, and then
So you lived with Yaya?
we lived with Yaya for about a month or so, and then we moved out, and his brother wanted us to live with them because he just got acquainted with his brother after so many years from Greece. And then we moved out and found an apartment. And
So you lived in an apartment, do
we
you
lived
remember
in an
where?
apartment, we lived on 32nd and Pacific in San Pedro. And then we moved to a big house, and
Name your children in order of their birth. Sorry.
okay, Mary is the oldest,
We all know that.
and she was born,
The kids are gonna like to see this video.
January 24th, I think. All right,
Okay, where we left off, sorry the
we
battery
were in
ran.
Los Angeles.
No, you have Irene is number 2.
Oh, Irene's number 2, she was born May 10th,
Okay.
and Nikki was born April the 29th, and Marcy was born on Labor Day, 1st of September. And my sister said, Amelia, have a happy Labor Day. And Angie was born in January,
And we all have the middle name.
of Michael.
No,
I
we
mean,
don't.
excuse me, of John, excuse me, is the reason why is because in Greece, the children's name have to be take after their father. All the children, not just the boys, to carry the name
Okay.
of the father.
Have you, did you work while you were married?
I never worked because he did not want me to work.
Okay, and when did you start working?
I started to work in 1972 as being a widow.
Well, you
I
worked
lost my
before
husband.
that.
No, I never did.
You worked while I was at home. You worked
That
at
was
the hospital.
1972?
No. I graduated from high school in '70. You were working at the hospital, Magnolia,
Oh, that was, yeah, I worked at Magnolia House,
while I was in high school.
yes, that was in 1966.
Well, it doesn't matter the year. but-
And I did housekeeping. I met very nice people there. And I met a darling little nun that I loved so much, and she was 75 years old at that time. And she told me, if you ever want to be with anybody, be with the young. Don't be around with people that complain and being sick all the time because you'd be miserable.
Okay, and so you worked at Magnolia Hospital?
I worked at Magnolia Hospital, and I didn't work very long because my husband didn't want me to work, and so then
When did you, what places have you lived? You lived in Minneapolis, in San Pedro,
and
and
in
Long
Long
Beach,
Beach,
and that's
that's
it,
all.
right? Okay. When did you, okay, then what happened to your first husband? Just briefly.
Okay, my first husband passed away in Panama
In
1968. September the 26th, he passed away. And it was so strange because before he left, he said there was two wishes he wanted. He wanted to go to Greece and meet his sister, or go to New York and meet his nephew. So when he left, I decided to call and made several calls in New York, and I got in touch with his nephew, wrote a letter.
Which nephew?
There was Billy Stamatakis, but there was two Billy Stamatakis in New York, and I didn't know. Yeah, and so the other Bill Stamatakis called up his cousin and said, "You have an aunt in California." And then August the 15th, I got a phone call from my husband telling me that I made him the happiest man in the world, and that he loved us and took care of the kids.
And that was the last time you talked to him?
And yes, it's the last time. Oh, and then and September 30th, no, September, oh yeah, he called me up and said that he will be home in October the 3rd, and he couldn't wait to come home. But he was so glad because he went to New York, and he said, it's a strange thing he said to me. You know, on the phone, he said, you know, I went to New York because he came from Greece and lived in New York, and he was a tailor man, and he worked as a waiter guy, and shoeshine boy when he first came from Greece, he said. And he said when he went to New York, he said he went down and kissed the ground, and he said he felt like he'd come home again or something, and he just couldn't wait till he'd come back, and he was glad that he got acquainted.
Now, wasn't he buried on October 3rd or
October
2nd?
3rd, they brought the body back from Panama, and because they had a hard time bringing the
Took a week.
to get it home.
Okay. Now, then after he passed away, how long was it before you met Alex?